Hey everyone, this is Tap to Pay, a Future of Faith, doing the newsletter recap with Tap and friends. At Future of Faith, we curate a twice-monthly newsletter spotlighting the people, practices, and places shaping what's next for faith. Each issue invites you listening to the field through real stories on the ground, listening to each other through thoughtful conversations, and listening to the research that helps us understand where faith is headed. We celebrated Featured Artist of the Year and share dream jobs and opportunities you won't want to miss. Subscribe today at futureoffaith.org and join a growing community committed to listening well and building the future of faith together. Hey everyone, welcome back to Newsletter Recap with Tap and friends. I'm joined by two friends. You know one, maybe not the other. Josh is back! Yay!
It's been a minute, Tap, as you remind me.
We've missed you so much. And we're joined by another friend, Nikki Collins, who is our new storytelling ministry director. Lots of words, but they're very important, and because she is an important person. So we're just going to get into it with Nikki being our new hire, in a sense, even though we've known Nikki for a really long time. So Nikki, how about you go ahead and introduce yourself or reintroduce yourself to everyone so they can get to know you.
Thanks, Tap. It's good to be here. Thanks for the invitation. I'm Nikki Collins. I live in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I've been working with the Presbyterian Church to start new worshiping communities, and now I'm going to begin telling stories from those as part of this new storytelling project called Hope Exchange.
What excites you most about stepping into this role as storytelling ministry director?
Well, there's a new thing, and that is as I get to know the people on this team, I'm really excited to be joining such a fun group of people to do the work and finding out the ways that we can work together. But I get to listen to people's stories for 5 years. This is going to be my job. And I'm so excited to hear what God is doing in people's lives. I think that it's going to be a whole lifetime of learning and being inspired by what other people have going on in their lives. So that's what's exciting to me.
What kind of voices or stories do you feel most called to elevate in the role that you're in and that you think that would be called to?
Yeah, I think that it's going to be really interesting to hear stories from people who have felt marginalized by the church, pushed out of it, or completely disinterested in it, but have somehow stayed interested in who God is and found some sort of courage to trust people in the church who may have wounded them again, or to build a relationship in a space that has never felt like it would be welcoming to them. I think that those folks are going to have beautiful stories of courage, and they're going to be stories that help those of us who do feel really safe in the church learn something about the ways that we build walls that we don't even know we've built, right? And so hopefully that will help us be more genuinely welcoming to people who have the courage to cross the threshold of a church.
That's really cool. We've been talking a lot about church hurt these past couple of episodes of Recap, and it's been interesting to see how sacred listening is obviously a huge part of it, and how now that we have all of these different different sectors that we're going to finally be able to have those people have a voice and to be seen. So I'm really excited for the work that you're going to do, and I'm really happy that you're here. And now I'm going to give you a fun question.
Okay.
Yes. So if the story of your life right now were a movie, what genre would it be and who would play you? Very important. Be as detailed as we can.
Fun and funny question, Tap. I am living this rom-com right now with a huge ensemble cast.
So, I love a rom-com. Okay.
Well, I mean, like you, I'm a newlywed, and we put together this gigantic family of young adult children. There are 7 of them, plus a couple of their own romantic relationships and significant others, and even a grandchild. So there's a lot of people in this cast coming and going. So it's a big plot for people, and it's funny to me and to my husband to watch what's going on in their lives. So that's the comedy part. I try not to be the comedy part of the story. I want to be the still center of that. And I did ask my son who should play me, and he that was funny. And I'm not going to share what he said because it ended up with some things that I didn't love. But I used to claim Elastigirl as my patron superhero because she could just stretch and do all the things, and I felt stretched at that time in my life. And so I think she's amazing, but I don't want to be that anymore. I want to be at a still grounded capacity for life and not overreach. So I don't know who would play me besides Elastigirl.
Tap, do you have any suggestions?
I'm trying to think.
Like, who is still in ground? You're from the South, Renee's, not Renee's Welliger. Who was the? No. Who was the one that's in the morning show?
Reese Witherspoon. She was
Yeah.
on the list with my
Good one.
son. Yeah. Yes. No. We talked about her as a possibility. Reese Witherspoon was on the list.
I think Reese Witherspoon would be really good. Yeah.
I really like the character she's playing on the morning show. I need a new season of that to come out, for sure. But I used to really like Helen Hunt. I think we have the same forehead, so like. So I think she could play me. And Jodie Foster always plays smart people, but she's not Southern. So
Yeah.
Julia
So it's
Roberts
gonna be
is from
somebody who
Georgia.
could like fake a Southern accent. Like they have to
No.
be.
No, you can't fake a Southern accent. It's
We
always
have to put that
bad.
in your contract. Okay.
Yeah, it's always bad. So Reese Witherspoon would probably be good. We'll go with that.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Nikki, for being here and talking with us. We look forward to the work that you're going to do at Future of Faith, and hopefully you'll be back on the recap soon.
Yeah, Nikki, it's so great to have you here.
Thanks, Josh. It's really fun. I look forward to it. Y'all have a great day.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Hey, that was so great, Tap. I love what she said about you're putting these grant proposals together, and it's like a lot of nuts and bolts, and then there's a long time that goes up between like writing it and getting it, and then even trying to get it started, and it all feels like logistics. And one of the things I'm really excited for having Nikki here is that she never forgets about the mission part, even amidst all those details. When she was like, we're going to spend 5 years listening to people's stories. And I was like, yes, that's right. That is a job. That is an actual thing that we're going to get paid to do, is to like hear these things. It's totally in line with our mission, and put them out into the world so other people can also, encounter them. It's just such an exciting thing to be a part of.
What an important thing too. I mean, this couldn't have been more perfect for Future of Faith to have a job about listening. Like, I wish I was doing it.
Well, you are going to help. It's not like you're not going to be a part of it.
That is so cool. Well, there are a bunch of other cool things that we have in this newsletter that you have curated. So I wanted to take some time to talk about some of them. So we have Boone, which is the Black Next Gen Network that you had shared with me. Let's talk a little bit about what inspired you to put this in the newsletter.
Well, I came across the website, I think just like on my own. Maybe somebody sent it to me, but maybe on LinkedIn or something, and then had a conversation with their director. And I'm hopeful that we'll get to end up doing a lot more with Boone as as things unfold. But as a very first step, I just wanted to make sure they got into our newsletter, because that teen discipleship framework, and how they're going on listening tours and this like listening methodology. I mean, the whole thing just seems super awesome and not only like aligned with what our audience is looking for and what I think they come to the newsletter for, but also like super inspirational about, how to take this idea of listening as ministry and then filter it through the lens of a group that that these people obviously know very well, and contour it for what's going to resonate most with that audience. I don't know how you were obviously, like reading it and putting the newsletter together. How did you find it?
I really liked it. I like the fact that they're having the teenagers specifically be the research team and have that peer-to-peer just listening experiences that they're having, but also the fact that they're being trained by the adult research team that they have, that are the mentors and the pastors and the coaches. Like, it's such a good intersection of generations to be able to build for the next generation, where, you know, there's a lot of people that clearly look like me who aren't being listened to and aren't being, you know, heard in this sense. But how do we, you know, still move forward with having faith and building that village of faith that they want to create with Boone? It's interesting because it reminds me of David's blog that we featured a couple of weeks ago, where he was talking about how am I supposed to move forward in a space where people don't necessarily listen to people that look like me, or they don't want to accept people like me, and having that sense of, you know, me caring for my enemy as God would care for me and loving them. It still resonates even in Boone, where they're just trying to create a culture where we're theologically grounded, but also moving forward to uplift the Black community. So I think it's really, really cool. And I think even the podcast, what they talk about and how it's so relatable in terms of, you know, just like pop culture and like being Black and like specifically the Black church, like I resonate with that a lot because Black church is kind of crazy sometimes.
So you would you listen to a lot of podcasts and things, and so you would recommend this? I
100%.
Like the podcast seemed like super interesting to me, but I don't know if this will be a shock to you, Tat, but I'm not in the Black church, and so
I didn't know, really.
Yeah, I'm adjacent because I'm in the church, but it struck me as like one of these. Like a great example of what it means to like be for a group but not against other groups. Like like when I talked to their director, I mean, none of it seemed like, you know, like there was antagonism there. And then sometimes antagonism was warranted. I'm not suggesting that you don't ever need to be antagonistic, but I just mean like it just felt very open armed and like you know, really future focused. The you know, look, you're gonna have my heart when you talk about the term. They use the term sacred data, and you know we're in. You know, at that point, regardless, almost. So yeah, very cool. I loved it. Hopefully, you're going to be hearing more. They're firmly on our radar for sure.
That's so cool. Another thing that you had shared was this study group research, which was a synod on synodality. Could you explain that? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, Josh, I was like, what is this? But when I saw digital missionaries, I was like, that's like kind of what we do. That's cool. So could you shed some light on that for people like me?
You are not in the Catholic Church. So for the last few years, I mean, this is a Pope Francis initiative. The Catholic Church has been going on this journey of synodality, and synodality is basically an attempt for the church to the wider Catholic Church to become a more listening oriented church. And I mean, it's at its furthest extremes, it could be fairly disruptive for an ecclesiology that is built on historically a lot of times top down. People at the priests and on bishops, etc., say things, and then everyone else listens. And in this case, Francis was really encouraging to flip that model and have the clergy listen to the people. And so there's all these study groups that come out of it's a massive worldwide effort. There's loads of different areas. I mean, you can think of the study groups almost like committees, but not quite the same. But they have a particular topic. And study group 3 was tasked with understanding the digital continent, so to speak. I mean, what's going on in terms of Catholic teaching, influencers, discipleship on the internet, essentially. And the Catholic Church has been somewhat, maybe a little slow to embrace, even though the internet is filled with, on Discord channels and YouTubes and Instagram and all these other digital channels of Catholic influencers who are doing, I think, some pretty tremendous work to spread the faith. There has not been like a coordinated effort. So study group 3 comes out with these official recommendations that says, okay, look, the internet is not just a tool, it is its own culture, and the church should embrace it. And they list out, you can read, if you want the actual official recommendations. And then it was adopted. And so Pope Leo adopted it. And this is essentially the church's position. This is the final report. This is huge for us. We've been working on this. We've got a lot of ties to work that's been going on in this with research projects that we've been supported to do, and to help a little book that I wrote that was commissioned to help advance this cause, because we believe firmly in this idea of engaging online as though it is, I guess the right metaphor is like they used to send missionaries to other countries, send missionaries to the internet, hopefully in a less colonialist way than maybe the primary idea, like sending missionaries to Latin America or South America or wherever. You learn and you hopefully get better, but there's a lot of really good stuff here that I think can help support people who are, you engage with a lot of these people yourself, just in your own personal life. I mean, these creators that are making things that are really just trying to do good work and get by, and it helps so much to have the official support in many cases of the church body.
Yeah, for sure. Especially digitally. I mean, you're going to reach so many people so much faster when it comes to just doing missions that way. So I'm really excited. It's really cool work that they're doing. So yay.
Yeah. And hopefully it means that we'll get more resources to do more of it.
Yeah. So in this newsletter, we featured Carmel's work, which obviously I live for it. It's really, really good. This specific one is from Feeling Good. First of all, love that song from Nina Simone. And for the next couple of months, I think it's been from March to October, we're going to have basically a series of every single song that it's on Nina Simone's album be associated with the last words that Jesus had said before he was crucified. So it's really, really cool how she ties this in with just music, and her art itself is really, really awesome. So I'm always excited to share Carmel's work, and I'm really happy that you reached out to her, Josh, for her to be our Artist of the Year.
Oh yeah, she's fantastic. And I think I was just scrolling the other day, and I think I saw that she's like an artist in residence or something at Princeton Theological Seminary this month, maybe even. And so if you're, in the Princeton, New Jersey area, assuming it's open to the public, I assume it is. Go check it out.
That'd be so cool. And then speaking of, Princeton and everywhere, we have, I'm going to shout us out. One of the people that we know, Chris, actually, our ministry practitioner, will be at Princeton Theological Seminary.
How do you know?
Because it's in the Where We'll Be section in the newsletter. As you guys haven't seen, we're everywhere. We're all over the map. There's so many of us that are going to be all over the country this upcoming quarter. So it would be really, really cool if you guys could check it out. I mean, Josh, you're going to be in Berlin in August. That's
cool.
So
if you're watching this and you're in Berlin and you want to get coffee, I'm not even going to try, and I don't know how you say coffee in German.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say coffee. Tap, this is actually one of my dreams. Like when we started Future of Faith and we did this I remember the very first time I put together the Where We'll Be little segment, and it was just me and Megan at the time, and there was like 5 bullet points, and I was like, hey, look, we'd love to chat. If we're coming to a town near you and we can buy you coffee or dinner or whatever, reach out. And I remember telling Megan, I was like, I hope someday that because we're doing such important and interesting work across the country, that it's like filled with people that are not just me and Megan going places. And then we're here, and it wasn't even that long, and we had to cut it off. I mean, there's still, I had to stop it in September because this is too much. So we'll do this again, but it really, people, if you're in Chicago, we'll be in Chicago 1,000 times. If you're in Colorado Springs or Milwaukee, I'll be at Notre Dame, and if you're in Baltimore, I mean, we got people coming to your area. Reach out.
Yeah. And also hire us for your speaking.
yeah. That's the other way we get to come to your place. Yeah. Some of these are speaking. Some of these are research collaboratives. Some of them are advisory sessions. But yeah. We're happy to come and speak at your conference. Let us know.
Yeah. Really, really cool. And then on the topic still of Princeton, Princeton has posted a ton of jobs on their job board, and we usually don't highlight, clergy or pastor roles, but it's a lot of jobs. Like it's a lot, everyone. Like I would really take advantage of it here because it's just really cool faith-based work that they're doing that you guys probably will be interested in too. Then we have the Narrative Project. Bryn Mawr is hiring for a fellow and
Postdoc, yeah.
Yeah, so it's really, really cool. I always love the Dreams, Jobs, and Opportunity section. Not because I'm trying to leave Future of Faith, but it's
just cool to see what's out there.
It's good to see. But
good to see.
I would just want to highlight our last section. It's near and dear to my heart because of the person on this call. Faithful Futures is still having their launch. We're still doing good work, and we want to give away these books. Josh, how many books do you still have?
Oh, we've still got a couple dozen left. So if go to the website, drop us a line. I'll mail you a free book, or mail your friend a free book. I mean, there's no sense in them just sitting on my shelf.
We also have the Faithful Futures Fund, where we're giving out money. So that's always good too. And then you could also just go get free downloadable chapters. You can watch our live webinar that we recently had. Just make sure to tap in. I know Josh doesn't want to promote himself, so that's why I'm doing it.
I got the most lovely, twice in 1 week, I got the most lovely, I was tagged on posts where people were reading them on college campuses. And I was like,
wow.
This is just the coolest thing. I mean, at least I think it's the coolest thing. As a former professor, I thought that was just a really... man, that's neat to think that people will be reading it in classes as a class. It's really, really neat for me.
That is so cool. Josh, it's like you never left. Like, don't you miss
it?
this?
I do miss it. I'm not the only person who can talk about our newsletter, obviously. I'm happy to be on with you anytime. I'll be glad to do it, here again in a couple of weeks.
Well, it has been so fun, so exciting. Thank you so much for joining Newsletter Recap with Tap and Friends, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye! Thanks for listening to the Newsletter Recap with Tap and Friends. Be sure to subscribe at our newsletter at futureoffaith.org. See you next time!